Hello and welcome. Today we are joined by a very special guest, Tony Sacre, the CEO of Allinial Global. Hello, Tony.
Nice to see you here. Nice to be here.
Tony is a CEO of the Worldwide Association of Leading Accounting and Tax Advisory Auditing Firms. Tony is visiting Poland due to Allinial Global EMEA conference that we actually just had for last 4 days in Warsaw. What is Allinial Global? Can you just bring us closer to this association and tell us a little bit more about it?
I certainly can. Thank you, Przemek, and it's a pleasure to be here. I've really enjoyed my time in Poland over the last 4 or 5 days. Warsaw is a gorgeous city, my word. One of the things I often say to people when they ask me about a city is actually, could you live there? And I could totally live here. It's a gorgeous place. It's got a young, vibrant feel to it. I'm aware how technologically advanced Poland is as a country. I think that's really rewarding. As Allinial Global, so yes, I've had the pleasure to be CEO of Allinial now for the past 3 months, but as you know, I've been on the board of Allinial Global, pardon me, for the last 4 or 5 years. Allinial Global is the world's second largest accounting association, and we're in the top 10 of all network and association firms. So we're a member-based group. We have, I think we have membership in 114 countries around the world, approximately 248 members. Our total revenue of the member group is approximately $7 billion US. So we're a large group.
Yes,
I have the pleasure of leading the Allinial staff, which support all the members like ALTO around the world. And so it's really exciting. We had the sheer joy of having our EMEA conference here the last couple of days. It was great seeing the members get together, collaborate, talk about what they're doing so that they can support not only each other as a member group, but also deliver things that they can then take back to their home markets and help their clients prosper their business going forward. So it was a really exciting and I thought a very successful conference.
Tony, what comes to your mind when you think about Poland? And professionally and personally.
You know, I was lucky. About a month ago, Poland was rightly featured in the Economist magazine, and I'm an avid reader of the Economist. Every Friday, the new article comes out, the new magazine comes out, and I genuinely look forward to it. When I wake up on a Friday morning, it's when it comes out online in Australia anyway, and so I open it and I look, and about a month ago, there was a series of articles where Poland was featured. It was on the cover, and it talked about the Warsaw economy as well, and different other regions within Poland. So what I think about is, I would summarize as a country that has a young, vibrant workforce, and also is a country that maybe because of the younger average workforce, technology is front and center with what most folks do. So there are countries that aren't anywhere near as technologically advanced as Poland, where it seems to me that Polish firms embed technology into their overall service offering, which is exactly what we're trying to do at Allinial Global as well. You know, so in many ways, what Poland are doing and what ALTO are doing are very representative of what Allinial are trying to do. We're trying to bring technological solutions to our member firms so that it can help their business, help their lives, free up time. So, you know, time's always short on people, and offer unique solutions. And I think that is a real, that was a real theme, as you would have seen at the Allinial conference for the last few days. And I think it's a really great example. But I would say from a technology point of view, what I like about our member group is they're people focused. So you utilize the technology, but ultimately people come into professional services like we are to be able to talk to clients, folks out here in all these different buildings, and go to them and actually offer a solution to a client, help the client's business go from this level up to this level and help them get to where they want to be. And I think that's where I think of Poland as a very representative country of precisely what we're trying to do on a global expansion perspective.
I would like to also focus on yourself, and if you can just, I know that you already explained it to us, your new role as a CEO of Allinial Global Association, but just tell us a little bit about yourself as well. If you
Sure,
can.
sure.
Just, you know,
Yeah.
what kind of person you are.
Well, you might have gathered from that answer, I quite like sports. But I'm 54, married. I have one son and two stepchildren.
I didn't want to ask about age, but
No, that's okay. I don't mind.
but as with us.
I don't mind. I'm 54. What do I like? You know, my move into professional services probably happened around 15 years ago. So my first 15, 17 years of my career was in investment banking. I was in financial markets for most of that. I had the sheer pleasure of working in New York for about 6 years, and I was mainly focused on derivatives, so options and futures markets within precious metals predominantly, and also a little bit of foreign exchange and fixed income. I moved back to Australia. I went off and did my MBA full time because I wanted to deliberately move out of banking into C-suite type roles. And I'm a big believer in doing your homework. And I figured you needed a proof point. And my proof point was, a lot of people say they want to be a CEO, but they don't do anything about it. I went off and did an MBA deliberately with that as a goal. This is my CEO role at Allinial is my third CEO role. So I've been doing this for almost a decade. So a bit over 9 years as CEO.
To interrupt you, but yes, I think we didn't mention that, but the previous CEO role that you had, it was actually also, you were CEO of one of the member firms before.
That's right. Yeah.
In Australia.
That's right. So I was CEO of Bentley's, which is a network as opposed to an association. So Bentley's is, I think, the 12th biggest firm in the Australian market, about 140 odd million in total revenue, maybe 750 staff around Australia and New Zealand. And one of the best things I did in that role was I championed Bentley's move to Allinial. We were at another international group and we moved over at the start of 2019. So we've been in since January 2019 and we've really got a hell of a lot of value out of it. So yeah.
What is Allinial Global mission in a few words?
Yeah.
How we differentiate from other associations?
Look, it's the way I view Allinial Global's key mission is that it's to make our members satisfied and our members' clients satisfied. So I'm a big fan of voice of the members and the voice of the customers, so the voice of the client. Where Allinial helps is, I think a good example is actually when I was at Bentley's and I was talking to clients that would come in. They would say, you know, what's Allinial? Why are you guys a member of Allinial? And I would explain, well, as your business goes overseas, I can refer you to a firm in that other market, that foreign market, that will do the same quality of work that we do in Australia. So, you know, if we had clients in Australia that were coming to Poland, for example, I could say, well, look, you know, we've got a member firm called ALTO over there. Reach out to them. They will help you do business in that country. So help you do business, right?
Yes.
And then the other component that I think is valuable from Allinial is the thought leadership piece. So, you know, when you go to conferences, you may hear what some other member firms are doing. It might be, oh, well, they're doing something innovative from a technology perspective, and that's certainly front and center. But it might be, oh, wow, these firms are doing something quite interesting in value pricing. They're doing something in ESG. You can take those learnings back to your market, develop it, which is good for your business, but it's also good for your clients. You know, so I can tell you from a Bentley's perspective, we learnt about ESG really quite heavily from attending these conferences. And we took it back, the guys took it back to the Australian market and now have a proper business where they're advising clients on ESG, which is profitable. So that's good for the member firm and it's good for the member firm's clients because they've got international expertise that's been taken back locally. And I think that's really, really important.
Thank you. Can you also tell me, or tell us actually, how does the Allinial Global Association operate? And what types of firms typically join?
We have a really diverse member group. We have firms that are roughly 1.4 billion in revenue, biggest firm, and we have small firms that are a couple of million, even not even $1 million US because of the currency in their home markets. Because remember, we're in 112 countries. Some of the countries in South America or Asia in particular, they're decent sized firms in their market, so SME type client base. But if you convert it into currency, they're quite a small dollar value. But what I like about that is I really embrace that diversity of member firms, because I've seen it. Sometimes the really big firms, the $1.4 billion firms, can learn something from the smaller firms, because the smaller firms, it's a bit like a boat. The $1.4 billion is like an ocean liner, and the $1 million firm's like a speedboat. So they're more nimble. They can actually do different things quicker. And I think that's a really wonderful thing that we experience, and I see it at conferences. I see it as CEO, and I used to see it as a board member. You'd see different firms from a wide variety of backgrounds really engaging properly and learning from each other. And I think that's extremely exciting.
Okay, Tony, so moving on, which industries or markets are most active within association? Association.
You bet. So look, it's typically accounting firms that deal with the SME space, so small to medium-sized enterprises. That tends to be the main client base. And so you have firms all around the world dealing with a similar type of client base. I mean, from an industry perspective, we cover all industries. So it's, whether it's agriculture, whether it's financial planning clients, whether it's banks. We have a large number of clients that actually work in the financial services sector as well. So it is quite a wide variety of clients. Mm-hmm. But what I would say, if there's a commonality, it'd be the duration with which clients stick with our member firms, which is why they need an association that really values the type of members we bring on board. We are focused on having good quality firms within the association. We don't just take anybody, as you know. There's a process with which you have to apply for membership, and we have within the association bylaws being a member of good standing, and that's doing exactly what ALTO do. You people pay their fees on time. They contribute at conferences. They contribute to thought leadership. They do things like this.
Pay salaries on time.
Pay salary. That's right. That's always a good thing too. Look, I think if I think about the average firm within Allinial Global, from the $1 million firm to the $1.4 billion firm, if you think about the firms in the middle, the average firm, they're probably like a maybe $10, $20 million firm that has a large number of clients in and around their area. And some of those clients do work internationally, because we are seeing the world continue to become more and more global, despite some of the geopolitical tensions in the world at the moment. Firms are still doing business internationally.
What are the most challenges businesses face in areas like tax, payroll, and cross-border reporting?
I think the biggest challenge at the moment in most areas of the business is the way regulations are changing quite a lot. Okay, you've seen governments change hands. You've had a change of government in Poland with a new prime minister or a new president. You've seen changes in the US market. You've seen changes in the UK and parts of Europe as well, right? So what that means is, I actually don't mind change, and change is good for professional services firms, because I think I said it, change, if you change the G to a C, change becomes chance, and chance is opportunity. It allows you to talk to your clients about what the changes are and how it impacts them, and it allows the client to possibly pursue an opportunity they hadn't previously thought of if they have really good advisors. So I think that the change in regulation is really exciting. I think the biggest opportunity for clients going forward is trying to work out how to globalize more. If you can advise your clients how they can expand their business, either internationally or taking ideas you've learnt internationally and bringing to your home market in Poland, That's exciting, and that's exciting for the industry, and it's exciting for your clients.
How important is local expertise when navigating complex tax, legal accounting systems?
You know, it's actually arguably the most important concern when clients go internationally. You need the expertise, because you think about your clients in Poland, right? They get the wonderful expertise of ALTO when they're, you know, the services you provide to your clients. They're then going overseas to France, Middle East, South Africa, wherever they're going. You need that local expertise, because heavens knows regulations are changing a lot, which I briefly mentioned earlier, and markets are very different. So the tax regime in Poland is, I have no doubt, extremely different to the tax regime in Singapore, as is Australia, UK. They're very different regimes. You need that assistance with helping business and understanding the local markets, because if you get it wrong, if you're a client, if you're a corporate going to a foreign market, you can have a great business strategy, but if you mess up the taxes, what would be a profitable exercise can turn into a loss-making exercise, and that's the last thing anyone wants.
What advice would you give to the Polish companies that are thinking about going global, expanding their businesses?
Look, I think for ALTO, as you're advising your clients, I strongly support firms doing business internationally. I think there's wonderful myriad of opportunities. So I would say as ALTO's advisors, they should be talking to their clients about where their client wants to get to. And some clients will just do business domestically, and that's fine. But some of them will want to expand internationally. And where ALTO can help your clients is by referring them to the right member within Allinial Global. What that can then do is they talk to an advisor in another market and understand what that market's like. People can sometimes have perceptions, oh yeah, there's wonderful opportunities over in this country, and they think that. But some firms that I've seen that have made mistakes have just gone into a market without doing the right research. You know, the advantage for your clients is they have a good firm within Allinial. ALTO can help them structure their advice in the right way domestically and refer them to somebody internationally that can actually advise them truthfully on what it's like setting up a business in China, or what it's like setting up a business in Africa, you know, what it's like setting up a business in the Middle East. You know, it just depends what it is. And then you get that degree of detail so that when your clients, which is your question, they have that requisite truth that they can then form a business decision on, rather than just this nebulous concept of, gosh, I think I could do my business in China or in Africa, or, you know, I'm just picking random areas. Because without that right factual information, it's hard to execute a business plan.
Okay. I think we discovered, we actually went through a lot of topics now around, you know, how we can support clients from, you know, many jurisdictions. So, Tony, thank you so much for insightful conversation. I mean,
My
it was
pleasure.
great. Again, it's a great having you here in Poland. You know, I've been doing everything what I could for the last few days to please Allinial members and to make sure that everyone is happy and feels comfortable in our city, Warsaw. You business owners, if you're thinking of expanding anywhere else in the world, please reach out to us, reach out to ALTO, reach out to me. I'm happy to explain more details how we can support you, how we can help, especially through Allinial Global Association.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Przemek. You've done a wonderful job. You've highlighted your country beautifully and certainly represented ALTO fantastically amongst the member group. And I really look forward to dealing with you guys more, and also Polish firms as they expand. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Cheers.